Hi YouTube! So as you've probably seen from some of my other videos, I have personally had breast reduction surgery just over 2 months ago now, and I kind of feel like enough time has passed that I can probably pass on some tips and hints to people that either try and decide whether or not to have breast reduction surgery, or those that have got it planned coming up and just want some general help. So I think the first thing that I found that was quite difficult was just purely the fact of making the decision of actually having it done. I had kind of thought about doing it for a while, a good few years, but then when I started thinking about it seriously, it was still a massive thing to decide to do, because you don't want to regret it. It's something that you don't have to have done, it's something that you make a choice to have done, and therefore if things don't go well or as you want them to, it comes down to you basically. So I think this is one of the biggest things that I had an issue with. I did speak to my family members and some close friends first. Some of them were very much like, go for it, go for it. Other people were a bit more like, why? But you know what? Once I made the decision, I got really excited. And I think that showed me that I was making the right decision, because I did want to do it. And I can honestly say now I've had the surgery done. So glad I got it done, so glad I got it done. And actually, I think most people that I've ever spoken to that have had breast reduction surgery have also said the same thing. It was definitely worth it. So yeah, first thing, making the decision. Take your time. No rush, just think about it, and you'll know, deep down, you'll know. So probably tip number 2 would be to find a good surgeon. And I don't think this is as easily done as you may think it is, especially in the UK. I did already have a plastic surgeon that had done some kind of repair surgery on me beforehand, and I knew that he had a private practice in London. So I did actually contact them, and they didn't get back to me, which kind of put me off a lot. And I kind of looked around some cosmetic surgeons or plastic surgeons around my local area, but none of them actually specialise specifically in breast surgery. And actually in the end, I have private medical insurance through work. I contacted them because I heard that I might be able to get a discount anyway, and they actually found my surgeon for me. Not just that, but while they didn't cover the cost of my surgery, they actually paid for my initial consultation, and they would have paid for that if I'd gone ahead with the surgery or not. And because of that, they managed to find my surgeon, who is a plastic / cosmetic surgeon, but he does actually specialise in breasts, which I felt really reassured about. I mean, he was quite far away, he was about an hour or so drive away, but to me it was worth it. And actually the day I had my surgery, all the nurses said how particular he was, how, you know, if he kind of did some stitching and he wasn't happy with it, he would just undo the stitching and start from scratch. He was a complete perfectionist, which I could kind of tell when he started measuring me up anyway. So do whatever research you can. I mean, obviously if I had known someone that had breast reduction surgery and they really recommended their surgeon, I'd probably check them out. I would probably just say that in the UK you will probably have to pay for the initial consultation. So if I had to have paid for mine, it was 150 quid. So it is fairly expensive if you do want to keep going around to lots of different surgeons and checking them all out. But yeah, if you can, try and get a recommendation. So the third thing is, when you actually have your initial consultation, make sure you take a list of questions to ask the surgeon. I think one of the biggest questions is going to be kind of what size you want to go to, and I'd be really honest with what you want. It sounds crazy saying this, but I didn't actually want to go too small, because my ribs are quite wide, and while I'm quite short, I felt if I went too small I wouldn't be in proportion. So I kind of said to him, you know, I kind of was saying, you know, I was like a 36 F, I think I was, and I kind of said to him I want to go to about a 36C or a D, and he agreed with me. I think at the end of the day, the surgeons know what's going to look good, but you need to be honest. If you'd rather just go as small as possible, then say that. If they disagree with you going that small, then they will tell you. But be honest, just be honest with them. I think the other thing to ask about is going to be recovery, how long you'll be expecting to stay into the hospital for. I know maybe perhaps in the States I've heard that people go home the same day. I actually stayed over a night, and I was actually booked into the hospital for 2 nights just in case. Also ask about recovery. If you're really into exercise and fitness like I am, ask about that, just so you have an idea of what to expect. I also took a week off work, and you know, that's something to ask, how long you expect to be off work. Obviously it depends on what kind of job you do. I do an office-based role, and actually I was able to work from home the week after I had off anyway, so it wasn't too bad for me. But you know, get a list of questions, everything you want to ask. If you want to see previous photographs of their surgeries, then please just ask. It's really something that you are supposed to be getting things out of, so don't be shy. They will examine you, that's fine. Just be honest. If you're honest and you ask all the questions you want to ask, you're going to get the information that you want and that you need. So next thing on my tips and hints would be planning your surgery dates. Now, I think the vast majority of you will probably be having this surgery privately, and so you will have some kind of a say. I chose my date specifically because April was quite a quiet month at work, and I had holidays coming up, I had weddings to go to coming up. I didn't really want some kind of surgery interfering too much with that, so again I decided I'd rather have this surgery in April, and actually I sorted out the date and the cost of the surgery with the secretary rather than with the surgeon directly. I mean, it probably differs depending on who you go to. Yeah, getting a date was quite easy. As it was, I think she originally wanted me to give me a date of the 19th of April, and I already had a hair appointment that day, and I just thought I would rather have my hair appointment before I get my surgery done. So I ended up choosing the week after. It was the 24th. So yes, just choose a date that's going to work within your life, basically. Just make sure that you give yourself a good few weeks afterwards, depending on what you've got coming up, to keep that part of your life in your diary clear, just so that you don't feel that you have to go out if you don't feel like it, and if you need to buy new clothes, new bras, then you're going to have time to do that too. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to cover was what to buy to prepare you for life after your surgery. And I actually got given a bra, and I woke up with this on, which looked like this. Very fetching, I know. But actually, I ended up wearing this most of the week. I don't know if you've caught my other videos yet. It's really great because it has adjustable straps at the top, and it has front closure, so it's quite easy to put on and off if I needed to. But yeah, so this got given to me at the hospital. I didn't need to buy one, but you may want to, you know, you're not going to want to wear that all week. It's going to be quite difficult to move your arms around, so what I did, buy some kind of like medium sports bras, ones without any kind of closures. It's quite difficult to get them over your head. But I did go to my local supermarkets where they do some quite nice cheap bras, because obviously I wasn't going to wear them forever. And obviously you're not going to be able to wear underwire bra for quite a while. So this is one of the bras I actually bought, where it kind of looks quite nice, but there's actually no underwiring, it's more kind of padded. And these are quite cheap. Obviously, the thing that you're going to be struggling with is exactly to know what size you're going to get, which is also why you want to get something a bit cheaper. So I was actually quite lucky. I bought a kind of selection of bras, and I kind of tried them on after my surgery, and I just took back the ones that didn't fit. So I got a bit of a selection, and it just gives you a bit of variety then. So in terms of bras, I pretty much just got ones like these that lasted me until I was able to wear underwire bras. Now, Something else to consider as well, if you can't get clothes over your head, because it's going to be quite difficult to lift up your arms, quite painful, is to get button-down shirts. Now, anyone that's got huge boobs knows that button-down shirts and boobs are not a girl's best friend. But in this situation, you really do want to get some. So again, I just went to my local supermarket. I suppose in America you've got Target, you've got Walmart. Here I went to Asda and Tesco's, I think. And I actually already had one. So this was like the button-down top I already had. Again, something that's going to be quite comfortable, and it just pops undone. So you can get it on quite easily when you leave the hospital. You're going to want something that's kind of comfortable and fairly loose. Again, I think I just got like a medium or something. I can't remember now. And in terms of nightwear as well, I stayed at my mum and dad's for a couple of days. I actually got myself a button-down nightshirt, if you can see it here. So yeah. Again, when I first got it, I looked at it and thought, oh my god, there's no way I'd be able to get this around my chest right now. But after the surgery, it went on quite nicely. And again, because you don't need to put it over your head, it just goes on around you. Perfect. Don't spend too much money on things. I would say you're not going to be wearing them for very long. I don't really tend to wear button-down stuff anymore, just because it's not really my thing, but I can do if I want to. So yeah, don't go out and spend loads of money on bras until you settle down. It's going to take quite a while for your boobs to reach a nice position. So go cheap, at least for the beginning, until you settle more down into things. So don't go on a massive spending spree and spend loads that you're not going to. Just get a few button-down shirts, a few comfortable bras, and you can always add to your collection later if you need to. Okay, so next is preparing yourself for going home. Like I said, went to go and stay with my parents for a couple of days, but then I was quite keen on getting home. So what I actually did was, before my surgery, I had meal prepped quite a few different meals and just stuck them in the freezer. So as I needed them, I got them out of the freezer to defrost them and then cooked them, and that saved me a job. I also live on like the 3rd floor of a flat, so bringing shopping up the stairs would have been really difficult. So again, either get a company to deliver your food to you or get it before your surgery, and get something that isn't going to perish really quickly like salads. So you will probably need someone to help you out within the first couple of days. So going to stay with my parents was really handy. Also, just have someone there to wash your food for you. I think the other major thing for me was washing my hair. Because I couldn't have a shower with my top half, I always like washing my hair in the shower. Buy some dry shampoo. Dry shampoo will tide you over a good few days. You can always get someone to help if it really hurts to lift your arms. Get someone to help you out with some dry shampoo, or get someone else to help you out with washing your hair. I actually had another hair appointment to touch up the ends of my hair like a week after my surgery, and actually going and getting her to wash my hair was brilliant. If I hadn't have had that appointment, then I definitely probably would have made one just for my hairdresser to wash my hair. It just made so much difference to like how I felt about myself at the time. And it's just nice having clean hair, especially if you're someone that washes your hair fairly regularly. So yeah, get someone to help you out with your hair. Also, exercising. Try not to be sitting on your ass after your surgery. I mean, you're going to want a couple of days where you are doing that, but after that, go out walking. I feel like me going out walking helped my recovery massively, and I'm not talking about major exercise, I'm talking about just going for like a couple of miles walk. I started doing that every day. It didn't hurt, you know, I wasn't running or anything, it was just like a stroll, and it was good to get out in the fresh air. So definitely go out and get a bit of exercise, get some fresh air. It's also good to keep the blood circulation in your legs, stop you from getting any blood clots, and just general, I think it massively helped with my recovery. So last but not least, my last tip would be moisturize after your surgery. So this was something that my surgeon told me to do, and the nurse actually said to me that while a lot of people use bio oil, it's actually the vitamin E in bio oil that really helps with your scars and your incisions. So I got some cocoa butter with vitamin E in it, and I have to say I don't have anything to compare it to in terms of my scars, but your skin is going to get really, really dry. So make sure you moisturize at least twice a day to keep everything nice. And actually I didn't get hardly any itching that I've heard a lot of people get. So I don't know if that helped or if it was just me personally. I don't know. But that's my last tip. I wish anyone that's going to be getting breast reduction soon all the best of luck. If you've got any questions, then please just let me know. And yeah, enjoy. I think you're going to really like the results. So best of luck, everybody.